Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, all of that juicy goodness. I just got back from a sound bath healing and it was so good. I love going to sound healing sessions. If you're not familiar, it's crystal bowls and the sound just penetrates to your bones and it just brings out any kind of ickiness that you've been holding on to. It's a restful meditation. You bring a blanket and a pillow and you just lay there and listen to the beautiful music. So I am feeling fresh. I am feeling new. And I felt guided to pull some cards this evening. I have my little candle lit and I actually was just going to light my Palo Santo, but I just realized I can use my candle. So let's call in our guides. Oh, you guys, the wick is literally in the shape of a heart. I have to take a picture of this. Holy Toledo. Oh, it's not going to come up on camera. Dang it. Maybe it's just meant for my eyes. All right, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, please open sacred space. Please allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through for all of us tonight. We're going to talk about the August energy. And yikes, I don't burn my place down. Speaking of burn things down, I was talking to a friend today and we were talking about what is one thing that you would grab from your home if your home was on fire. Ready, set, go. Comment below and tell me what you would grab from your home. Imagine all of your pets and your family members are out of the house and they're safe. What would you grab? I can't wait to hear all of your responses. I actually struggled today to find mine. I was thinking, obviously I'd grab, I had my daughter cremated. So my first thought was obviously I would grab her ashes. They're in a cute little pink box. But even if I didn't get them, I think I'd be okay with not grabbing anything from my house, as long as I have myself and my health. I don't live with anybody, so there's a bunch of little items that would make me sad to never have anymore. Probably my heart rock collection. I have a bunch of heart rocks all in front of my TV. And when I came home from after talking with him, I was like, you know what? I really miss my heart rocks because all of those rocks represent a moment in time in my life where I was having a bad day or I was having a magical day and my daughter would send me one of these hearts. And it's like they're all gifts from her. So I think that would be what I would be really sad if they burned down. But I know that she would bring me more. So I kind of wouldn't run back and grab them, but I don't know what else I would miss or grab. It's a hard question. I was proud of myself for coming up with that question, but it also felt really good to know that, like, I think I'd be okay with losing everything and knowing that I still have me and I still have my family and my loved ones, because we can always start fresh. I'm a huge believer in purging and cleansing and clearing out the clutter and living with less. I just went through a whole box of photos. It was like a huge clear bin, probably like this big. And I dialed it down to just one small little photo box. And they're all in little rubber bands and I have them all labeled. Such a nerd, but I am like the organized queen. If you go in any drawer in my house, there is a label for things, a place for things, and maybe not so much a written label, but my old place, I had a condo and everything was labeled, like big plates, small plates, forks. I like literally used a labeler and I put labels on everything. I even have my wrapping paper, my ribbons, that's actually all organized on my closet door, which is a pretty bomb idea. I used a kitchen organizer for like cans and stuff, and for pasta, something that you would buy from like the Container Store. But instead I used it for all of my gift wrap. So it's like my gift wrap station. But anywho, fun question, right? What would you grab from your house? Comment below and tell me. Okay, so before we get started pulling cards, I just watched an August energy report by Lee Harris. He's one of my favorite spiritual teachers. And I'm just going to relay his teachings to all of you in case you haven't watched his video. He goes into more depth. I'm just going to quickly list what he mentioned. what August might look like for us. And if this is like our spiritual news, if you go to his channel, he's definitely like, for me, this is like my news. I'm like, all right, what's August going to be like? What are we going to experience? And he's always spot on. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to focus on. The first one is rest and transformation. So you might be feeling super, super exhausted this month. And he's saying, ride the wave, rest, let your body transform. And then the last one he mentioned was there's a lot of light coming into our planet right now. So if you guys aren't open to believing in this, that's okay. But I believe that because there's such a battle going on, the dark versus the light, spiritually and physically in our 3D reality with what's going on with the world, and yeah, just all the craziness. I'm not going to go into details on my channel about it all and opinions and stuff, but there's a lot of darkness on our planet, and they're saying that these higher beings, our angels, our guides, the universe, are infusing Mother Earth with more light to give us the power and the energy to fight this darkness out of here. But when the light is coming in, you might be getting dizzy, you might have your ears ringing, you might be feeling like something knocked you on your ass for 2 days and you're just so exhausted. You might be going through an upgrade, and we all experience it at different times. I know I experienced it last weekend. There was 2 days where I literally was on the couch for 2 days straight. And he's saying that August is going to be like that a lot. So he says a lot of light coming in strong. And he said it could also cause friction. So when the light is coming in, it's like a fire hose. Imagine me pouring a fire hose of energy into your body. Guess what has to come out? All of the darkness. So if you have any bit of trauma or old wounds, or if you have anything that you have that's unresolved, you're going to be feeling that coming to the surface. And usually when it's coming to the surface, the universe brings you a situation to make it come up. So it might be like a boss picking on you. It might be somebody poking one of your wounds. Maybe you're really jealous of your partner, and you just have all of this pent up stuff from your wounding, from being abandoned or neglected as a child, and you're feeling that jealousy wound. So it's going to show up in your physical reality by people triggering you and causing friction. Maybe it's your spouse and you're just like, oh my gosh, they're driving me nuts this month. That could be because there's a lot of light coming into you, and you're being forced to face your wounds and your trauma. Okay, the second thing he has, well, we already just did 2, but the second one on his list was second guessing your choices. He said this month you might be going through like this, like, I don't know, like I can't trust my intuition. And it's funny because I've watched 2 videos, and I actually posted a video about intuition, and I'm reading a book right now called Intuition. So I feel like that's the theme this month, is knowing what is my intuition and what is my ego mind, and how can I follow my intuition. And I've learned a slew of tools in the last 2 days on how to tap into your intuition. I talked about an intuitive day in my last video, kind of waking up, having no plan, and just trusting yourself to make decisions with no plan. You don't know where you're driving to, you don't know what store you're going to go to, but you're listening for the voice that has the idea, and then you're following it. Another one with trusting your decisions and like second guessing your choices. I heard a scenario where if you're not sure what you want to do, or you have 2 options of something, write them down on a piece of paper and throw them in a jar. And when you pick it out, if you're bummed about one of them, now you know that you really want the other one. So that's a great way to discern between, I don't really know what I want. Put them both in a jar, and whatever one you get, see your reaction to it. See if you're lit up about it. And it could be more than one thing too. But if you're second guessing your choices, you really need to sit in some stillness, have an intuitive day, do the jar game, and just try to, or you can even ask your body. You can ask your body to stand tall, 2 deep breaths, and ask your body, say, body, what is a yes? What is a yes? And you'll lean forward or backward. Your body will just naturally do it. Whichever way you lean is your yes. So if you lean forward after you ask your body that question, now you know if you were to ask yourself any yes or no question, If you're leaning forward, it's a yes. So you can stand there and say, universe, body, do I need to leave this job? And if you lean forward, your answer is yes. And I know that's like sounds bonkers to be like, oh, just go resign from your job with no plan, but it's something you need to write down and start asking for assistance for. Okay. So that's a really great way to not second guess yourself, is to tune into what your body is telling you. Some people are just really blunt and they're just quiet with themselves and they're like, should I leave my job? And they say it out loud. The first answer you get, or if you get chills all over your body, or if you start to get like your ears are ringing, you're going to respond viscerally to the answer. Or it's going to be the very first thought. That's going to be your answer. Okay, the next one is full acceptance. So say somebody breaks up with you, or somebody starts to pull away in your family and you're just oddly okay with it. You're like, why am I totally accepting this? Where in the past I would cling and hold on to it. It's because your awareness is better now. Now you're like, oh, I see that things are pushed away from me because they're not good for me. I see that, wow, this partner that I've had for 10 years, who maybe we broke up 5 years ago and then we got back together and I thought I could never live without them back then. But all of a sudden I'm feeling like we're kind of splitting up again, but I'm okay with it. That's because it's time and you're not meant to be with that person and you're fully accepting it. We are living in a time right now where if you are not on your mission and if you're not with the people you're supposed to be with, it's going to get very, very uncomfortable and it's going to get loud. It's going to get loud to the point where you're not going to be able to stand it one more day with that person or at that job. So if you're feeling that way, feel free to book a session with me and I can help guide you, but it's going to get loud. We are not meant to not be on our mission. And especially during the time in the world that we're living in, we need everybody to be where they're supposed to be, loving who they're supposed to be loving, being of service in the way they're supposed to be being of service, because we need you. Okay, so don't be afraid to walk away from something that you know is not in your highest joy and it's not for your highest good. Okay. All right, the next one is togetherness energy is needed. And this is community. This is going and doing things with people that are like-minded. This is talking about things that make you feel good with people that make you feel good. Feeling that sense of community and you know, maybe sitting on Zoom with 5 or 6 people and just talking about what you're going through throughout your days, your weeks. You know, calling that friend every single day and checking in on them. Community is needed more than ever right now. When he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been preaching that to my clients. So that was really spot on. And this is all for August. All right, the next one, anger. Anger is a boundary, he said. So he worded it as, if you are experiencing anger, okay, listen up, open up those ears. If you are experiencing anger, it means you're not able to say no to something you want to say no to. You are so fed up with something and your soul is screaming on the inside because you're wanting to speak your truth and you're not able to. That is where your anger is coming from. And beneath that, there's grief, there's fear, there's sadness. There's this fear that if I do speak my truth, I won't be heard, or it'll make things worse for myself, or I'll get fired, or this person won't hear me anyway. So what's the point? Your anger it's going to need a boundary this month. Okay. It's going to be a boundary. It's going to separate you in a way, because it's going to cause a bunch of discord in your life. So you're needing to love the anger and say, okay, anger, show me what are you teaching me? Where do I need to speak my truth? What am I not saying no to? And usually when we're angry, it's because somebody is treating us poorly, or somebody is not doing something that's for everybody's highest good. They're not doing their job well. They're not treating you well. They're not showing up on time. They are disrespecting the situation or a person, and you're not able to speak up about it. That anger is going to build. So you have to say, okay, anger, what are you showing me? Yes, I can see this is an unjust situation. It's not fair. What can I do with this feeling? How can I express myself? And I even wrote down, it says a part of you wants you to do something differently. So be different. So when you're feeling this, start to ask yourself, how can I handle this differently than I have in the past? Okay. All right. I believe that was the last one. Yes. Oh, and also he ended that with, on the other side of you expressing your anger, it's called a heart opener. So when you finally speak your truth and you say how you're feeling to that person or to that coworker or to that boss or to your wife or to your husband or to your kids or to a friend. I just had to send an uncomfortable text to a friend because I just was like, hey, it really hurt my feelings that you just disregarded my text. And it was a very vulnerable text. So I spoke my truth because I don't waste a minute. I always speak my truth because I know life is short and I don't want to have any icky feeling in my body with anybody that I love. So I always express myself. But on the other side of that anger and that frustration and that icky feeling, if I express myself, it's a heart opener. So now they're going to respond and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. And it's an opportunity to grow closer. And that's how you know that you're in a partnership, friendship, relationship that's healthy, is because you have the space to speak your truth. They hear it and they welcome it and they apologize or whatever they say that's needing to be said. And then I hear it and we grow closer. Now, if you're in a relationship where you're speaking your truth and it's completely being smushed and pushed down and saying, that's not true. I didn't do that. They make excuses for their behavior and they're ignoring your needs. That is just a barrier. That's a bigger barrier. It is not a heart opener. And you'll get nowhere with that. You will be on this repetitive cycle of always feeling not heard, not seen, not loved. And that's a partnership we might have to walk away from. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this energy report. It's again from Lee Harris. Literally just watched his video and I was like, I need to share this on my channel so that more people go watch his channel. So go watch his videos. He's amazing. And he goes in his whole video. I think it was like a 40-minute video, maybe even longer. He went into detail of every single one. Okay, so let's pull some cards and see what the energy is for this weekend. All right. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Again, I'm going to call you guys in for the messages that we need to hear tonight. What about August? August energy report. My birthday month. I will be 40 on the 19th. Woo woo. Okay, this is in alignment with what Lee said. Ant card is all about collaboration. You are coming together with the people that you're meant to be with. The universe is aligning it for you. It is forcing you to be with the people you're supposed to be collaborating with. And it's like all the puzzle pieces are fitting together. Everything is starting to make sense. You're like, oh, I see now why God brought me this person. And I see why they brought me to this place to meet them, to have this conversation. Everything is divinely guided. All right, we're going to do one more. And I just heard cut the deck. All right, we have the spider. Make your dreams real. And I have a friend who always gets the spider card. We were just talking about how he saw a spider in the basement the other day. So funny. So I'm thinking about him. And it's number 56, which adds up to 11, which 11 is my life path number. I don't know if you guys know your life path number. You can look it up online. You enter your name and your birthday and it tells you what your life path number is. And then you just Google life path number and then you can figure out, who you are based on your number. But make your dreams real. So the spider's kind of saying like, and I love how, my outfit's going to match any color card, but I like that the purple matches my sleeve. But yeah, make your dreams real. This is saying if you have something that you want to do, it's time to start doing it. Start weaving that web, start writing down, okay, like if I had $1 million, what would I wake up and do tomorrow? I'd quit my job, right? I'm not saying that for me, but for most people, they would quit their job and they would start building things, doing things, collaborating, start creating something for the world to use. Because we all have something inside of us that the world needs. We're not meant to just like have millions of dollars and then stay at home by ourselves and and just enjoy each day. You're meant to serve our planet in some way. You're meant to help people. And I just burped, which you guys know my throat chakra always goes crazy when it's a message you need to hear. I'm also going to do a video on the 7 clairs: clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, clairaudient, and there's also a couple more that I just learned about. There's clairalience, which I believe is smelling, clairgustance, which is taste, and clairtangency, which is touch. So smell, taste, and touch are also 3 types of gifts that you can have, where say I'm touching these beads. Side note, these beads are a necklace that I always used to wear when my daughter was here. So a medium who I might go see, right? I might bring this necklace and she's going to touch the necklace. And if she has that special gift of touch, she will be able to get messages from my daughter by touching the necklace. She'll know that it was connected to her. Now somebody with smell, they are usually prone to smelling everything. I have a couple people in my life that do that, and I do that too. But their sense of smell is their gift. And a lot of times they can smell things when those things are not around. So, you know, for me, sometimes I smell cigarette smoke and there's nobody smoking and there's no smoke around, but that's a sign from my dad because my dad was a smoker. So I tend to smell things when they're not really there. And I think it's my guide showing me or giving me a message of something. So if I'm sitting in a reading with somebody and I'm smelling peaches, I might say, hey, I keep like sensing peaches, you know, does that mean anything? And then she'll be like, oh my gosh, my mom used to can peaches, my mom passed away. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to do a video on all the different clairs. The clairaudient is listening, clairsentient is feeling, clairvoyant is seeing, being able to see with your third eye. Maybe you can see auras and colors. Claircognizant is knowing. That's kind of like having a prediction about something. Okay, so the next card we have, is there a decision you are needing to make? Sit in silence and ask yourself to be open to receiving the answer. It will come when you least expect it. It will be a gentle whisper from your heart. This is exactly what we were talking about with the energy report from Lee Harris, is second guessing your decisions. How can we get you all to know exactly what you need to do when you need to do it? Whatever decision is coming up in your world, and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling the call to do something, but I'm not sure, I don't know. Your fear will try to keep you safe. So here's an example. Say there's this woman, right? And she was in a relationship before and she got her heart broken, right? She's terrified to ever feel that way again, to ever think she's going to lose her person. And maybe she got her heart broken, or maybe, I don't know, there was some sort of discord. And now she'll do anything. She'll stay in any toxic environment to avoid feeling that way again. So her fear will tell her, you can't leave. You have to stay. You don't want to feel that way ever again. You'll die. You'll die. You can't feel that way ever again. So the fear convinces her to stay in something that is not love. So maybe she found a new partnership and it's not healthy, and she didn't know any better when she married the person because she wasn't on a healing journey. She's now transformed after 3 or 4 years, and she's just this new person, and she's starting to see more and more how her current partner is not a match to her energy anymore, and they're not a good person. But her fear is telling her that it's safe to stay because it's way more painful to feel that fear, to feel the discord of breaking up and being single and being on your own. So when we need to make big decisions, we have to make sure our fear is not keeping us safe, a false sense of safety, because if anything, it's keeping you sick. Okay, sick meaning unhappy, unhealthy. You'll start to notice that you're self-sabotaging yourself. You'll start to eat poorly. You'll start to drink more. You'll start to do more things to numb yourself out. That's how you know that you're staying somewhere too long. For me, I always put on weight. I'm not even eating more. I subconsciously start to gain weight when I'm not where I'm supposed to be. It's pretty cool that my body does this, because as soon as it starts to happen, I'm like, all right, I got a decision to make. I know I got to sit with myself in silence hand on my heart, hand on my belly, Michelle, what decision do you need to make? And it's the first thought. And it might not make sense. It might have to be a leap of faith. And my mind might try to find all these reasons why I shouldn't do it. But no, I know from now on, when I have a decision to make, my body will tell me and I will take action, because I do not let my fear keep me stuck. Your fear will try to keep you stuck. You have to step through it and embrace it and say, okay, I'm not going to feel that way. Like for that woman, she's not going to feel that way again. She's not going to feel that heartbreak because she's a different person now. She has a different reality. She is nowhere near the same person she used to be 5 years ago or 4 years ago or whenever it happened. She is completely new. And she's met new people, and she has guidance now, and she has people around her to walk her through this transition. So you are strong. If I'm talking to you and you need to do this and you're letting your fear stop you, you are strong and you can do this. There is so much joy, love, abundance waiting for you just on the other side of that decision. So get your ducks in a row and start to take steps towards your fear. Don't let your fear keep you stuck. King of Swords. This is clarity, a man who has major clarity in his life. He's seeing everything so clearly. He has spirit all around him, and the animals, the owl, the crow, there's a dragonfly. He is so clear on what he wants now. And he's at the top of the mountain, and he sees every step of the way why it had to happen. Like, oh, I was at this job because of this, and I was with this person to learn this lesson. I lost this money because it taught me that I'm okay with that money. And I am still a wonderful person, even though I don't have money. I always say God takes things from us. He jumps into our body, makes us do stupid things to show us our value, that we were putting value on our homes, on our money, on our clothing, on the type of partner we have. We're placing all this value on those things. So a lot of times we do stupid things to kind of, they're not stupid, it's divinely guided, but we do those things to kind of teach us a lesson, to say, hey, I did that and it got taken from me, and it feels like I really messed up my life. But in reality, it showed me that people still love me and I still love me, even though I did that. And you learn from it and you grow from it. And then you start to value things a little bit more, and you start to appreciate things. And you really realize that, wow, I was really placing a whole lot of energy pursuing something that wasn't for my highest good. And God had to show me to scale back and be like, nope. Or he was showing you that you weren't using his help. You were trying to navigate the situation with your ego. And our ego does not fly like that. Our ego will not take us to good places. Our ego will just get us in trouble. So if you were doing something with an ego drive, like wanting more money with less time, or which is not ego, you're worthy of having more money and doing less, but maybe not doing something that's serving the planet. Okay, so remember, if we are on our mission, doing what we're supposed to be doing, feeling good, serving, abundance follows. The universe will give you the money to do the mission. Okay, that's how you know you're in alignment, is when money is showing up as you're doing your leap of faith. So this man has total clarity now on his journey and why things happen the way they did. And he's feeling good. And he's got a decision to make. He's going to collaborate with others to make this happen, whether it's talking with friends or grandparents or uncles or aunts. He's going to get advice from them on how to make that decision. And maybe it's a career decision. All right, angel card. Well, hello. Freedom. He's going to be set free. This decision, girl or guy, whoever it is, when you make this one decision, this is how you're going to feel. Remember, we talked about the anger in the energy report. When you take that leap and you speak your truth and you finally just say, I'm done with this. I'm not putting up with this behavior anymore. You're not going to treat me this way. Are you trying to belittle me? Because you're making me feel very belittled. You just speak your truth and say it, and say, is that your intention? Because it doesn't make me feel good. When you say that, the freedom and the power, and you standing in your truth, I am all about telling people the truth when you feel it. Do not keep things bottled up. All right, I'm being guided to do another angel card. Here it is, acceptance. This goes along with our energy report, full acceptance. So when you make this decision, it's going to be fully accepted by those around you. It's all going to click into place. I think the greatest thing I can share with all of you, I've taken many leaps of faith in my life, from like moving out of certain places, not having another place lined up. I've moved a couple times where it was like, I'd wake up on a Saturday morning and I was like, it's time, I got to move. And I would come to the complex where I'm living now. And I found a little heart leaf on the ground on the doormat outside of my place that I was looking to rent. Then I found a heart on the wall. So my guides and angels were leading me, but it was like a leap of faith. I woke up on a Saturday morning. I had no plans on moving. And I was living at my brother's house and I was like, it's time, I have to do it. I feel it in my bones, I'm doing it. And I came here and boom, all these hearts were lined up. And I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. But sometimes it's not that easy. And sometimes we're stewing over, should I leave? Shouldn't I leave? Should I leave? Shouldn't I leave? But when we get the acceptance card, it's kind of like saying like, when we have fears about change, we have to know that like, it's going to be difficult, but we have to get used to change. We can't stay comfortable. We cannot stay in our comfort zone, especially with the way the world is going. We have to be open to change and accepting things when they come and accepting quick change. I'm feeling a quick energy in this reading. Like everything's going to happen really, really fast, but you're going to feel free. You're going to feel a lot freer quicker than you thought. But when we're taking those leaps of faith and we're not sure, like if this is the right decision, I don't know, we're second guessing, we have to hand on the heart, hand on the belly, ask ourselves, but we also have to know that it's scary. It is not easy to say yes. Like I said yes to this place, but I was like, crap, this rent is expensive. How am I going to pay it in a few months? But I took the leap and money is showing up slowly. So your red carpet will show up. Just take the leap. You got this. All right, let's do a Kim Kranz animal, and the lamb is at the bottom, which we're going to use that. This is a message from spirit is coming. So somebody might be sending you a text message, an email, reaching out, asking you to go somewhere, asking you to do something. It could also, I just heard, come in through music. Okay. And I just went to go shuffle and I also saw the swan card. So this is the twin flame card. So maybe the message is coming through from somebody. Maybe they're going to show up at your door with flowers. Swan energy is romantic and graceful, and they're the perfect match. They mirror each other. They're just like each other. And maybe they're finally accepting this partnership. And they're listening and getting messages from music and from spirit and from their higher self, knowing that this is the right decision. They have clarity about this love. I just keep pulling cards from the bottom, and then we have the frog, which is my favorite card. This is all about vacation, resting, jumping back in the water, playing more, taking a break from work. Okay, let's do one shuffle. Okay, we got two. The wolf, the leader of the pack. And then we have the vulture. The vulture comes in, this is the universe. So the universe will come in and clean up any mess in your life. If there's anything unsettled, if there's a lot of discord, like we said, the anger, the frustration, ask the universe to help you clean it up. I know I have some friends that are going through some really tough things right now. I have one friend who's about to get married to a man, and his ex-wife is such a loud factor in their relationship that it's causing discord between her and her fiance. And she's just like, what do I do about this ex-wife? She's literally jumping in my future husband's phone all the time, and he's not setting a boundary. And that's something that they have to work through together before they get married, right? The communication, he's got to set a boundary. That's not okay. So I was guiding her and saying, ask the universe for help. Ask the universe to jump into your fiance's body and to give him the strength to set a boundary, because that's karmic energy. His ex-wife is a karmic energy trying to block them from loving each other. And it's working. She's causing discord between the two of them. So his mission is to not let the karmic energy block his next love, his true love, who he's allowing her to get between them. But if he sets a boundary and says, hey, I'm not going to respond to your messages, please stop texting me at 10 o'clock at night, that's the vulture energy. The universe will jump in and take over and start to clean up that mess. So that's one example of like August energy with anger, frustration, discord. Okay. And then the wolf is the leader of the pack. So sometimes the divine feminines, we have this awareness around these situations, and we can see how it's all going down, and we can say, okay, we need to do this here, we need to do that there. We're kind of leading the pack, and we're saying, okay, if we want freedom in this partnership, if we don't want to be tied down by an ex or tied down by a job, if we want freedom in any area of our life, we have to start leading and taking action to create it for ourselves. Okay, final card. Let's use my intuition to see what kind of card we want to get. All right, what deck do you want me to use? Yep, okay. So I just saw this deck in my third eye. They showed me this picture. So this is my Angels of Abundance deck. Alrighty then. Let's see what we got. Dreams of abundance. As you sleep, sorry, I'm blind. The writing is really, really small. As you sleep, God, your angels and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. Which is funny. This is the third message I heard today about, for me, to pay attention to my dreams and that my guides are trying to talk to me. And I had a dream about a sweet man, so maybe it's my new partner. But anyway, pay attention to your dreams. And this is dreams of abundance. So you might be getting messages to create a project or to start collaborating with somebody. We have the ant card, remember? So whatever decision you're needing to make, your guides and your angels are going to talk to you in your dreams. So be mindful and don't eat any sugar like 2 or 3 hours before bed, because then your dreams are going to be crazy and you don't want to trust them, because the sugar will affect all the neurons that are firing while you're sleeping. Okay, so the final card for this reading, dreams of abundance. And remember, if you're wanting to call in more abundance in your life and you're manifesting money, if you start to dream about it, that means it's dropping down from your vortex, entering your dream space, and then it's going to be in your hands soon. So that could be a sign your manifestation is coming. But this seemed like somebody has clarity in their life. They know what decision they need to make. They know it's going to set them free. They want to collaborate or go with somebody. Maybe it's a new partnership, new work partnership. They're getting a message from spirit, maybe in their dreams. Their spider is they're making their dreams come true. Swan card is new love. If there's friction at all, ask the universe to come clean it up for you. And if somebody's not accepting your decision, oh well, this is your life. You make decisions for you. You support yourself, and you say no or you say yes. So let that anger fly and speak your truth finally for once. Don't put up with any crap. Be the leader of the pack. And then after all that, you can rest. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I hope you have a wonderful month, week. Yeah, and I'll be back to do some more of these. All right, lovies, peace out.